How to forgive. We're going to start with some definitions here. Forgiveness. Changing my perception of the past so that I can have peace in the present. Humility. Perceiving myself in light of my limitations. Compassion. Perceiving others in light of their limitations. And gratitude. Perceiving my life in light of the things that I wouldn't want to lose. So here's a diagram. So to forgive, to change our perception of the past incident. To forgive myself, I need to change my perception of myself with humility. So my perception of myself in light of my perception of my limitations. And that if I'm forgiving myself, I go right to gratitude, where I change my perception of the incident. If I'm trying to forgive somebody else, we still have to change our perception of ourselves in light of our limitations. Because if we're trying to forgive somebody else, and we're trying to change our perception of others in light of their limitations with compassion, you have to do that to yourself first so that you can understand their limitations. And then we go right to gratitude again, change our perception of the incident. So, humility, perceiving myself in light of my limitations. What are my limitations? I am not perfect. I don't know everything. I can't control everything. I have physical and emotional needs. I struggle with things in my life. I need help sometimes. I can't change the past. And I need love. Hopefully, those are all pretty self-evident, and you can see how those are true in your life. Maybe they're just not always in your awareness. So, you can ask yourself now, why do I sometimes do things that I regret, am ashamed of, or feel guilty for? Because I cope with my flaws imperfectly, I manage my needs imperfectly, and I love imperfectly. That's why we make the mistakes we make. That's why we do things. It's because we're imperfect. So now that hopefully we are perceiving ourselves in light of our limitations with some humility, now we can move to compassion, perceiving others in light of their limitations. Why do others sometimes do things that hurt me? Because everybody copes with their flaws imperfectly, everybody manages their needs imperfectly, everybody loves imperfectly. We're all the same that way. The reasons that I do things that I regret, that I need to be forgiven for, and to forgive myself for, are the same reasons that others do things that I'm trying to forgive them for. Hopefully the relationship between the two helps you to change your perception of whatever happened if you're trying to forgive somebody else. Now, gratitude, perceiving my life in light of the things that I wouldn't want to lose. So what is true about what happened that I can be grateful for? Well, whatever I did or happened to me could have been worse. You can be grateful that it wasn't worse. And if you were given the choice between what happened or an option that was worse, you would of course be choosing what happened. You would be grateful that you were able to choose what actually happened instead of having to choose what was worse. So maybe that's a little convoluted, but I think hopefully you get the point. And then, why should I let go of negative emotions from the past and focus on the present? Well, there are good things in my life that I could lose at any moment. And those good things didn't have to come into my life at all. And the energy that I spend and attention I spend on this negative incident and the negative emotions in that past prevent me from truly appreciating these good things in the present. And that can lead to regrets. Can it? So, how to forgive myself? Step 1. Accept that I can't change the past, only my perception of it. Step 2. Figure out which limitation I was acting in ignorance of. What did I not know at the time? What or who was I trying to control? What need was I trying to meet? Etc. Just go through the list of limitations and see which ones apply to your situation, And step 3, add some gratitude. Ask myself, could what I did have been worse? And how does not forgiving myself prevent me from appreciating the relationships and experiences that I have right now? Do I have trust issues? Do I have full emotional availability? Am I harboring secrets? Etc. How to forgive someone else. Step 1, accept that I can't change the past, only my perception of it. Sounds familiar. Step 2, figure out which limitation they were acting in ignorance of. What did they not know at the time? What or who were they trying to control? What need were they trying to meet? Etc. Just go down the list, see which limitation applies perhaps to them. You may not know entirely, you're not a mind reader, but it'll give you a good idea, hopefully. And then, with gratitude, ask myself, are they evil or just flawed? Have I ever done something similar to someone else? Could what they did have been worse? And how does not forgiving them prevent me from appreciating the relationships and experiences that I have right now? So now, that has hopefully gotten you to where you want to be. You're able to let go of the past and the negative emotions you're harboring. But if there are still things that you're not able to release, it could be in your subconscious. So here's a deeper forgiving exercise from Opening Up by James Pennebaker. Great book. To access subconscious thoughts and feelings that may be preventing you from letting go. 1. Choose an incident or person to forgive. 2. Get a pen and paper or open a note on your computer or phone. 3. Set a timer for 15 minutes. Now this is a guideline. You write for as long as you need. And you may have to do this exercise more than once to really get it. 4. Write everything that comes into your mind. No censoring. And expect things to start slow as you get used to flowing, because you're used to censoring yourself. Step 5. Eventually, you will achieve greater understanding and or a release of pent-up emotion associated with the incident or person. 6. If an emotion comes up, stay with it. Do not repress, avoid, or distract yourself from it. Processing it will let you finally move on and have peace, which is the whole point of forgiving. I really hope that this has helped you, and I thank you for watching.